I think this was a good map to check out some more Bronze League Legends on. Prairie is a map where you just really can't hide. This whole idea of just walling in and playing a long game, not impossible, but very difficult to do, especially for free. Looking at these guys, Hot Styler, another English main, they don't play much ranked. They played Season 2, they only played 7 games. They had a 14.3% win rate. Now, they've already played more games. This is their 8th game in Season 4. They have a 28.6% win rate, 368 elo. Their opponent, J-Deep, who's going to be playing as a French here, French that can usually be the bane of poor English players' existence at this rank, is 525. They are slivering slightly into silver here, but have a 45% win rate. Looks like they're trending slightly downward. Figure this would be an interesting clash. On a map like Prairie, you would expect School Cavalry to be the play, for French to look to play mid-map aggression. But we've seen a lot of French players that don't do that, weirdly enough. A lot of these players just kind of sit back and chill. It's almost like they're just playing for the extra villager production time, if anything. Or the idea that they can attack if need be. Well, in the opening, we are going to see... Wait. Oh no, J-Deep! He's scouting. He's not bringing the sheep back. So he's ran all the way out onto deer. Oh dear. Hey, in fairness... J-Deep heard somewhere that deer is better than sheep. So he's just following what the guide said. And now he is deep in the tree line. This deer is so far away. He has got double berries out here. And I believe Jay is also... Has he committed a waypoint? He has. He's waypointed out onto the deer here. Cool thing about this, at least, by the way, because the pathfinding, they should run in range and push the deer closer to the mill. Watch this. This will be amazing. It would have been amazing. Meanwhile, on Hot Styler's base, we've got the loose sheep again. I love how often the loose sheep happen. So I think what's happening here is a lot of players... I mentioned before they might think that they can garrison the sheep. The other possibility is that in Panoramic, you can't click here very easily. So... You know, if you're up this close, you can click this ground without clicking to go on the TC. But when you're this far out, look where... See that? See that difference? Of where the drop-off point is? Right? It comes right to the edge. But when you zoom in like this, you can click to drop them off without hitting the building. I think that's actually what is happening, is that like a lot of players don't put the sheep as close because they think they're going to garrison or something. And because they're playing on Panoramic, the only click that won't put it in this mode is further away. Oh, Starla, we are going to get 5 villages for the council hall, so clearly has the timing down. J-Deep, his feudal timing might be a bit deeper into the game. But he is at least having a healthy diet, okay? You can't just sustain on protein. You could, but you'd have a heart attack at 23. Admittedly, quite a very, very old age for the Dark Age. But, you know, we know that a healthy diet is a mixture of venison and venison covered in berries. Yep, that is actually just more deer back here. I thought we had a berry gatherer on our hands. We did for a moment. He should catch up pretty far. Wait. No! Deep! He brought all the gold workers! He pulled all the gold workers onto the lumber camp. I think he queued them. There's no way, right? No. So Deep is playing a very off-meta French build. It's one where you don't need much gold. In fact, you need so little gold that you never even tech up. Oh, he realizes. I love the fact that Deep doesn't do things in half measure. I need gold right now, everyone across the gold. I need wood right now, everyone across the wood. They truly are Benny Hillsing in this base. So typically when you play the French, the optimal build is... If you do it immediately, you can put like 2 people on a mining camp, usually 3 because you eventually get a knight. and then a lot of food, and maybe you put 1 or 2, up to 3 eventually on wood, depending on your opening. What Deep done here is he immediately pushed, I think it was 4 into the gold mine, or maybe even 6, but then I think he stacked a build on the lumber camp afterwards and sent them all across. And of course, the way villagers work is if you shift queue them, they'll follow your commands, and then they'll do whatever the last building they built was. So if they built a lumber camp last, they'll start gathering wood. If they built a mill last, they'll start gathering food. And oh my god, Deep, he actually is just a 1 resource boy. He's sending them all to the gold. And after building the lumber camp, he now sends them onto a straggler tree. Okay, so they were pulled back to build up the School of Cavalry. Now, look at this. Even though he's now building it up, J-Deep still has 500 food. And at some point, the scout is going to come home. For now, he'll settle for the deer to the north. So he scouted both deer, and J-Deep is one of those guys that just eats meat. J-Deep is the Ron Swanson of Age of Empires 4. If you try to put berries or any vegetation on his plate, he will shoot you. Oh, man. And he has plenty of meat coming. 18 villagers will eventually be coming home. Meanwhile, the scout has scouted him out. 16 villagers will get him up into the School of Cavalry. In the meantime, Hotstyler has been here a while. And he's already getting into longbows. But these longbows are vibing. They are not fighting. Will J-Deep fight, though? Let's go with this extra food. Oh, baby. We're getting actual aggro here. Is it weird to say that might be the quickest time I've watched a French player build a knight so far in Bronze League Legends? Considering how delayed the tech-up timing was? That might still be the quickest I've seen someone go into a knight. Oh, good lord. Remember, he pushes these quick. 29 seconds because the School of Cavalry does give a 20% reduction in production speed. No trade, even though it's a great opportunity on a map like Prairie. And the knights should be ready to fight. Are they going to go towards the enemy base? Does he know where the enemy base is? In theory, yes. J-Deep should be able to assess that there is one location on the map he has not scouted. Very likely that that is where the English are sitting. And I believe, yeah, he returned all the sheep. He done the classic thing we see so often. Instead of sending the sheep to the TC, he drops them off near the mill. A mill that is out of range of the TC if Lombos ever get here. But Lombos should not get here. Clearly, J-Deep is playing off of expectations. And as we know, English mains are too scared to come and play. I mean, they should be scared. Yeah, exactly. Hotstyler is like that little, you know, that kind of little kid that's dead by the other kid to, I don't know, knock on a door, like, you know, or just step out of the garden. They just like dip one toe out. Like they dip their toe into the pool that they've been told not to go in. Like, I done it. I'm a rebel. J-Deep. What are we going for here? He stops at the 2 knights. He actually goes for forestry. It's funny, really, because even when you're playing French, a lot of players won't go for forestry unless they are building Chamber of Commerce. Because the French do get the eco upgrades much cheaper, right? They get the 30% discount. No, he does lock it in. He also did go for the level 1 gathering rate upgrade on mining camps. As well as survival techniques. Because, of course, you want to go for survival techniques considering how obsessed he was with the deer. But no wheelbarrow. Wait, sorry, yes, he has got wheelbarrow. But no horticulture, rather. Horticulture is definitely worth it at this point. You pay 105 resources. Wait, is he trading? Are we Dude, people just can't resist trading on Prairie. The English player has not joined in. The English player looks like he might want to tech up. He's got 9 longbows and will hold the front door. Because it looks like Hotstyle is about to walk through it. Keep an eye on this ball. I want to see if someone gets a bit sexy with their players here. I know it's very hard to look at a ball and say it's sexy. You're a reasonable human being if that's the case. But these longbows are not reasonable. What? Oh, Hotstyler, no. I don't think he scouted the TC. Or just didn't really process it. And this is the confidence that J-Deep needs. Immediately queues up a new knight. He said, oh, wait a sec. These guys work pretty well. They are so effective and so unkillable, I'm going to name them. This right here is John, and this one is John. I call all my knights John. It's much easier on you to keep track of them that way. And this horseman's Tim. So Tim and John have paid off. Hotstyler has lost the entire army and has realized it might be a good idea to defend them. So this time, or rather next time, it's going to have some protection. It's going to be the double racks drop, so he will have access to the spearmen. Remember, the English get hardened spearmen straight away. They don't have to upgrade, unlike other civs. J-Deep doesn't know this yet. J-Deep just ran his scout home.
See?
His scout didn't need to come home, but Dorothy was homesick. She didn't have any magical slippers to get her back quickly. She had to ride the length of the map. Wait, is he patrol? He's patrolling the map with the scout. Because he doesn't want his deer workers to die. J-Deep is such a considerate lad. He's so incredibly considerate. You know, the way that he looked after his villagers, the way they always done everything together, the fact that he's kept his villager count at a controllable pace, right? 27 compared to 43. I bet Hotstyler cannot even remember the names of every villager in his kingdom. J-Deep can. Trade is included. Wait. What is this market? Hotstyler has, instead of walking to the back corner, walked halfway across the map and dropped a marketplace. And they're now both trading to the same corner. Because Hotstyler says the whole map is way too bold, way too adventurous. This is much more defendable. With my army that are entirely away and at home. And interestingly enough, after everything Hotstyler just saw, the knights that threatened him, he did build those Raxes. He looked at his options. He went spear, men-at-arms, spear, men-at-arms. Well, this costs more, so it must be better. Because as we know, if you're looking on Amazon and you can buy like a seat warmer for $10 or a seat warmer for $50, the $50 one comes with a cup holder. And of course, the pips just mean that it's better, right? Not that it's a whole age behind. Looks like Hotstyler, he's a double dipper. He's willing to review all the products. He is now going to get in the spears, and if I'm not mistaken, Hotstyler, he definitely seems to be a Red Alert 2 player. He's built additional Raxes and is only producing out of one. Some RTSs do work that way. Age of Empires 4 isn't one of them. But I appreciate the thought process. And the English traders, he's actually escalating this. I think, what is he, up to 5? Meanwhile, JT... What is it with French players and walling the side of the map that their opponent is not on? I don't know why it's so entertaining to me, but they always start their walls where they least need to. It's almost like it's that classic where you'll least expect it type feeling, right? That's what's happening here out of J-Deep. And J-Deep, by the way, after a great start to this game, after destroying 800 resources worth of units, he decided that his knights deserved a long vacation. Where were they vacating, you ask? In their own houses. For an extended period of time. One long enough that J-Deep's probably going to tech up. Meanwhile, Hotstyler is angry and looking for vengeance. He has queued up 9 horsemen in 1 stable. Oh no. It's not Hotstyler's fault though, folks. Clearly the double click just doesn't work on his PC. We've all been there. Some people blame lag, I blame my mouse here. Hotstyler now on the go. And look at the time of this. J-Deep is now teching up. Hot Styler has a sizable force here. And he's covered every angle. He's got men-at-arms, he's got the archers, he's got the horsemen. And he's even upgraded the men-at-arms. Also got himself a bunch of military upgrades. J-Deep, however, doesn't really have any exposed eco. He knows all of his people off by name. Marie, John, Marie, John, Marie, John, Marie, 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 John, John, Marie. And they are far away from the front line. Hot Styler shoots down the deer, says, I wish there was a civ in this game that got rewarded for doing that. Like, you know, it like shot deer and got paid resources. I think that would be a really cool idea for a civ. I should design civs for Age of Empires 4. After he's done with that, it's time to do what every English player does at this point in the game. You're 15 minutes in, you're feudal age, it's time for siege engineering. Tech up has complete, but look at Hot Styler's resources. They can go up as well. Right now, J-Deep has a very one-dimensional army. That one dimension is taking you down. 6 feet down. All these Johnny boys that he's learnt the name of could easily disappear to just a few spears. Hot Styler. So he's pumping more horsemen. He's still waiting for these horsemen. Oh, dear goodness. He could buy tech up, but instead he wants to get frisky. Rams are going to start moving in. And the Knights are hesitant. JD doesn't want to take a fight yet. He is getting ready with Arbalètrier, though. Only one archery range, however. Rams. Pay attention. Spearman. Oh, JD. Wait, no! The wraparound Hot Styler. He targeted one Knight. Oh, no. Not like this. Those are veteran Royal Knights. Look at them from a distance and respect them. Like you're looking at an Audi R8. But no touching because you can't afford to replace it. Oh, dear. Hot Styler is definitely not looking hot now. That's 7 Knights in the field. Considering how many units Hot Styler took to kill, what was that, 1? I think Hot Styler's going to have to sacrifice his entire population to kill the rest. Weirdly enough, JD just stands still again. I love the fact that you either play English or you play like English in bronze. The moment he repels his opponent, he goes back to turtling, which is the #1 thing that English players love to do. Oh dear, oh dear. Hot Styler, he's not, has he just given up? So he's not building new units. He's got enough for Castle Age and hasn't gone for Castle Age. I think Hot Styler is bamboozled. I think he doesn't know what to do anymore. Hot Styler is, like, he's going through the script. He's checking the options. He's like, build order, build order. Built the Lombos. They died. I built the Lombos, the Spearmen, the Men-at-Arms. They died. I built a Ram. That died. Let me find a new guy. Scrolls through, finds White Tower. White Tower is good, apparently. That will cover my farms. More JD. Is he rushing Imperial Age? How's Marie and Marie doing? Oh, the twins Marie. They've been building that wall. They're still going. J-Deep says, I've got deep enough pockets to make sure you have a career for the rest of your life. That career is going to be walls. How much trade are we getting? So, no. 71 gold. 27. Okay, because he has 9, Hot Styler is getting more worth out of the trade. But, like, it's really not a big lead like you'd expect. J-Deep. I love the fact that he doesn't, like... J-Deep's that type of guy that gives you a task, right? He's probably a boss in an office somewhere, and he gives you a task, and as soon as you're complete with it, there's immediately a new one, right? It's never the full wall in one. It's always the false hope for Marie and Marie that they are done. that their life's work is complete. And the moment they think that they are done, new blueprints arrive. I've got a feeling that Hotstyle is about to get ran through, by the way. JDeep is now building more units in queue than I think he's built so far. He has triple stables, double archery range. For him, that's massive. That's absurdly huge. People are still wondering why this marketplace got placed here. It's simple, folks. Whole map, way too much scrolling, all right? If you're going to pan, think of, like, look, if I pan from this corner, I'm still not in the neutral. But if I come here and build it, look at that pan. And then I click for the trade. Hotstyler is just saving themselves about 8 seconds of tedious time wasting. Very smart game. I think we have a speed up button. Ooh. I think when we have downtime like this, it's worth going 2 times. Oh no. Hotstyler has reached that impossible point as an English player on Prairie. He's running out of wood. There is nothing left. Relics are being picked up by JDeep. And the key. JDeep's already got all the resources they need to end the game, but why stop there? Now, Hotstyler has got a lot of gold. So much gold that they could potentially type to JDeep and ask for 5 minutes in exchange for 1,000 gold. I'd take that trade. And wait a second, was that... Okay, no, I thought it was a third trader. I was about to say he's got... Wait, it is a third trader. Boom shakalaka. JDeep is doing better now. Actually, I say that. Is that... How many... 15 traders! So, Hotstyler... It takes 5 trips for these traders to pay for themselves. This is not a quick return on investment. And it's been found! Hotstyler... Here's one ace up his sleeve. His secret weapon of mass destruction has been found by JDeep. His army is nowhere nearby. And he was only now walling the north. Why do these guys love walling north? I don't get it. I don't actually understand. Of course, the Mongols come from the northeast. They come from the northeast. It makes so much sense. And Hotstyler, that's all the trade gone. That's pretty much all of his eco lead. Hotstyler is on the way, but Prairie is a big map to walk across. You ever get the feeling... Wait, what? If you're HRE, this wouldn't be too bad, but... We see this a lot with the monks, taking their coffee breaks. This really is your kind of 21st century friar, you know. He just talks to the locals and has cups of tea with them, and that's about it. Yeah, folks, this is getting a bit worrying. Hotstyler is getting into Spearmen, but like I'm pretty sure Knights are getting produced quicker than Spearmen right now. Yes, they are. 15 seconds compared to a Knight, if you divide it by the stables, every 7 seconds. Is the way this kind of feels. Dude, I love the way JDeep's just, you know, he hasn't taken too much of the land. He's a frugal lad. No more than he needs. I think one of the biggest lessons you can kind of take away if you're bronze and watching these is very often players have a lot of strength, but they don't use it. They just kind of sit. So often they just kind of like chill, right? Because like JDeep, you can see the military cap is comparative, but like the quality of troops is not even close. JDeep says, why would I come out, KP, when I can be an Imperial boy? Hoo-ah. In fact, he's going to march out while going for the tech up. College of Artillery is being built. So he's got Samuel, Samantha, Samuel, and Sam working on that. Told you guys, it's easy to remember the names this way. And the walls. No, Hotstyler, no! His Trump dream has been trumped. And the Sacred Sites are being decapped. What do you do now if you're Hot Styler? Do you perhaps build more spears? Could save you. Prairie's a very open map though. And unlike JD, Hot Styler was quite greedy with their walls. See, JD, he done what I call the stronghold walls, where you can't build them too far from your castle. Hot Styler, on the other hand, done the keep the Mexicans out wall, which is simply impossible to build. And also probably would be more easily handled if you just had a reasonable visa application system. Fight is actually at least good for Hot Styler. Did JD just throw away the army? Oh my, he did. Wow, he got massacred. The knights aren't here though. In fact, I'm very much... What? They are the last bastion, as every French player knows, folks. Don't judge it. Don't doubt it. Now, Hot Styler, he might have actually just found a second wind here. His eco is bigger. J-Deep stopped building villages again. And Hot Styler can get Imperial at any point if he just takes this gold and melts it into food. Which, of course, is how that works. You just have to be an alchemist. Is it me or does JD look a bit defeated? He's not building any new units. His remaining units feel lost. JD, oh my god, no! JD doesn't know where Hot Styler's base is still. There's no way. There is simply no way. He has never been there. The map is open. He has 10 plus elite Royal Knights, and they have never been to England. Which in real life is a positive. But in this game is a very big negative. Not Styler. He says, what once traded will trade again. The Indian Trading Company will soon reboom. Wait, but why? All right, here we go, folks. The classic, let's queue 14 traders for trade with a trade post on the same screen. That's going to be beautiful, guys. 14 gold every, like, 10 seconds. Booyah. Oh, dear goodness. Now the Sacred Sites have been capped again. Southern one is being oppressed, though. Hot Styler, although he's got to keep here, Rams and Trebs are in the area, so JD should be able to break this. JD also prepping hand cannoneers. Hot Styler still not going up to Imperial Age. Because as we know, in the Imperial Age, castles became a moot factor because cannons were able to kill them so quickly. So if you've still got castles, you're really just going to look bad when you arrive in Imperial Age. In real life, but in-game, they're good things to have. Hot Styler at least doesn't have that worry anymore. He still does, however, have 3,000 food to work with. Admittedly, winters was sometimes much colder back in the Castle Age. So Hot Styler's probably saving enough food to get him through a harsh winter. I think we've saved enough now. Apparently not. So Hot Styler is 64 eco. He's 22 eco ahead of JD. Because JD's build order stops at 42. He has almost double the military. And yet I can't help but feel that JD is going to win this game. Because as we know, the natural counter to every human is the gun. So make sure you disarm. Okay, no, I'm not going to turn this into a political thing. This is difficult, though. Like, just a few of these hand cannoneers can obliterate his Nightline. And these are elite Royal Knights. They do not have Royal Bloodlines. Because J-Deep didn't believe in higher education and hasn't gone to university. No, literally, guys, he doesn't have a university. He couldn't afford the wood. This is how hard Prairie is, guys. There's so little wood on the map, you can't afford university. Looks like Hostile is finally able to afford the tech up. Wingard Palace on the way, 21 villages. All right, now I don't think we've seen a Wingard yet in Bronze. I'm now very curious as to what army they prefer. My feeling is that it's Rangers, which are actually a very good unit. But for this type of play, it's good because, they can't touch me. Flash around the safe side. Hand cannoneers are going to stand their ground. This could get ugly fast. Hand cannoneers, are there enough of them here? The Knights are just so tanky. Men-at-Arms aren't lasting long against this. I think this could be a win for JD, but he's not able to get away from the spears. Men-at-Arms are all what remains, though. And the hand cannoneers were never targeted by the longbow, so indeed, J-Deep will come out ahead. Spear line simply wasn't fat enough. Did J-Deep lose, like, what, 4 knights for that? I mean, that's a remarkable trade. Now, let's answer our question. It's the win... Wait, no. It's the Wingard nothing. Hotstyler is not using the Wingard Palace at all. I don't blame him. If I looked at any one of these units, they look expensive. But if you read a little bit deeper, you will see that it builds multiple units. 6, 6, 6, or 5. This game is just so unpredictable. So J-Deep has played the fights better, funnily enough, by just A-clicking. But Hotstyler's economy is a lot stronger. And Hotstyler is still the 1 gold boy. Oh no. He queued up all these traders and never, ever gave them a new marketplace. They've been trading for 1 gold this whole time. All right, let's math this out. So it takes, if I'm not mistaken, about 18 seconds to make a trade here. Okay, 16 or 17 seconds for a trade. You have to do this 120 times to pay for a trader. Luckily for Hotstyler, this game is going to last that long. I almost feel like Bronze should be played almost exclusively on mountain clearing. Because they look a little bit lost when they're given this much of the map, right? It's almost too easy to dodge each other. Sure, we had this clash over Sacred Site. That's because someone was trying to force a win condition. But since then, it's been more like one of those situations where, you know, you're a kindergarten teacher, and you can see that 2 kids do not get along, so you tell them to go play in separate corners. All right, let's speed this up. Because at some point, the kindergarten teacher is going to leave the room, and the kids are going to have had it. And we're getting them, yes! Wingard Raiders. Or Rangers, rather. Okay, these units are pretty incredible, especially at this type of like level of play. This is your longbowman, but with an extra 2 tile range. And more damage. You can see they hit for 15. They have 9 tile range. They have access to the volley. They have everything they need. They got 125 health each. I think this is where he breaks him. Because that is a heavy hitter into hand cannoneers. Hand cannoneers that are slow and only have 4 tile range. You could easily lose half your hand cannoneers before you get in range for a fight. Especially if we see Hotstyler use the arrow volley. We should be building a big fight. I do like that J-Deep has started adding culverins. This is a cool thing to do if you're playing blind, because you know your opponent might eventually have siege. And he's very reliant on having range, right? So if there's a Mangonel in this fight, he loses. This could also just simply be J-Deep going cannon good, because cannon go boom. Cannon does indeed go boom. It's a raw culverin, by the way, so it goes boom even harder. It's episode 2 of The Wall. We waited a while for its sequel, but it's finally arrived. This trade is still going on. Oh my god. This trade route has been underway for, how long now? I actually can't remember when he built this. It's been 6 or 7 minutes at least. The 1 gold trade. Gotta keep honest, guys. Can't get greedy. I do adore the fact that they have never built more than the production that they had about half a game ago. Except for 1 racks added in by JD. They've kept it very manageable. To be honest, this is kind of better because we've seen times where someone builds like 10 raxes and they use 2 of them. At least they're not, you know, they're not just kind of trying to look like they know how to manage huge amounts of buildings. They're keeping it under control. So JD, at this rate, could take a very good fight. I think there's kind of a trick to it, though. If you wait like 10 extra minutes, the amount of Wingard ranges that are going to be here, you'll lose to. But at this point in the game, his comp is really good. 15 hand cannoneers, you can just wipe out the front line. And then you've got enough knights to kill off the ranges. But if you wait too long, you can see that Hotstyler, although it's going to take a few centuries, he's producing a lot of knights. He has got a lot of meaty men-at-arms. And has got additional Wingard units. This time the footmen. By the way, these are tanks. This is going to be like bringing a tank to a 10-year-old boxing fight. Don't ask me what weird illicit arenas I'm making happen in my spare time. I'll take $10 on the fat kid. But yes, these did get, they got fixed. So for those that don't know, the Wingard footmen were kind of broken. They weren't taking bonus damage from crossbows before. That has been addressed. But even after that, with 10 ranged armor and 336 health, these are amongst the most tanky units in the game. For comparison, a Royal Knight, even if it had Royal Bloodlines, would only be slightly higher on the health pool than this unit. But it would be much lower on the armor. Well, notably low. Much lower is maybe extreme. But you see the same armor in terms of melee, but more in terms of ranged. Come on. Do something already.
He shall do any work.
I love the tiny wall from J-Deep to protect trade. That sad realization that J-Deep with... It's just 4 traders, right? 4 traders, and he's gaining probably 10 times, if not more. Definitely more. Probably like 15 to 20 times. Probably 20 to 25 times what Hotstyler is from trade. That's harsh, man. This game has just turned into a War Fiesta. Hotstyler. Did he get the... Okay, so relic-wise, J-Deep's better off. Did J-Deep ever set up farms, though? A small cluster, yes. He has been getting his eco upgrades. It's very interesting, like, these type of details. I feel like bronze players do pick up tech upgrades a lot. In fact, they do it to a point where they do it with things they don't even need quite often, right? Like, I've seen this time and time again. Like, we had a game earlier where the player was just buying all the upgrades in the world and not building any of the type of units. That seems to be quite a frequent occurrence. The funny part is how often they're not producing villages in combination with the eco upgrades. All right, bold statement here. If you are bronze rank and you build to 100 villages, you will win 90% of your games. I think that's a fair statement. It's very rare we see any players go to 100 villages in these environments. So surely this is the point where J-Deep goes. His military isn't mass to maximum, but like this is the point where I think I look at my army, I'd be confident I can do things. So I'm saying if you rush, you win. Yeah, but see, here's your mistake. If you rush, you win, but you're bronze level. So are you confident in your rush? Something that you confidently do that isn't too hard to manage is constantly producing villages. Managing them is another thing, but if you're always staying at 100 villages and gathering, even if you lose a bunch of them here or there, your economy is going to be so big, you'll be able to beat any later time in your opponent, right? Doesn't mean build 5 TC straight away, that's extra micro. But out of your 1 TC, if you non-stop go to 100 villages, you will be a mile ahead of the competition. I think J-Deep is finally ready to fight after all the walls go up. Because it wouldn't be a siege if there wasn't something to blow up, right? Where is he going? This is not a quick map to cross, folks. Prairie is like, I'm pretty sure it's 1.25 to 1.5 times bigger than normal maps. It looks the same, but like it's so open. There's no tree lines that make it smaller or cliff size that make it smaller. I'm sad because I thought we were heading for a big fight when this speed up option was available, but then I realized it's just because I was joining the cast when they were 8 minutes into the game. So we just had 3 minutes of leeway. Oh, man. Didn't I say one of these guys was silver as well? That's the interesting thing. I might expand the range up to like gold to see what things are like. It is weird, like I said, we had some really interesting bronze aggro games on the last stream. But it's just, today has been very much, they might aggro early, but then they'll chill for a very, very long time. Like, just look at Hotstyler. He's close to full pop. That should be the point where they attack. I've got this very weird feeling that he's not going to attack. I'm sorry. It's the crows. When there's so little going on, I can hear the crows. I have to chuckle. So more siege workshops are coming. If he gets a siege army together, considering how slow Hotstyler's force is, it could just be a win. All right, we are, I'm going to say 60 to 70 trades in now, folks. We're getting there. It's almost paid for itself. And look at the beautiful timing. He needs the gold now. Does no one else like that feeling when you see the gold ticking up like that? It's like constant. You feel like you're always earning, you know? Some people want to be at the table, betting it all. Get big wins or big losses, but no, not Hotstyler. He has gone for the safest trade route that you can possibly have in Age of Empires 4. Oh, Hotstyler. I believe this is an attempt at the Sacred Site victory again. And you know, whoa. This can actually work as long as JD doesn't go and decap the free Sacred Site in the north. Which he has 4 units next to right now. But you would notice that, right? Rams in the meantime. I'm going to start getting through the castle. JD hasn't reacted yet. Is JD AFK? Oh, no. JD, please tell me you didn't go for a party break. The best part is Hotstyler is paranoid to commit. Little does Hotstyler know, rather, that JD apparently had to go and sign for a package at the door. Nothing is doing anything. But Hotstyler is so bad. Wait, what? You can't go. These rams are fragile, folks. You can't let them die, okay? They need to be repaired. Let me get a villager from back home and fix them up. You can't let the rams die. Come on. I'll bring a healer to make them better. Wait, no. I mean, in fairness, there's a bunch of units to heal here. But I have this strange feeling that he was trying to heal the rams. Which, by the way, if you want to heal siege, you have to use a villager for that. These guys, like, if you see this big staff here, it's not a very good hammer. Terrible for carpentry. If you hit a chair with one of these, you're just going to break it. Meanwhile, land JD. Has there been any signs of life? Ooh. 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 That was a terrible bird noise. Ah. Ah. Every time I hear that crow. I think we've got a 404. J Deep is not found, folks. He's not producing villages. He's not producing army. He's not producing brain forts. Hotstyler, meanwhile, is not going to fight until these two monks have healed every single... Okay, no, scrap that. He hates that idea. We're on the move. Hotstyler is now at pop cap, though. This is the time where you just go and do things. You want to know the best part? JD did get cannons, but he decided that due to the Geneva Convention, it is inhumane to pour hot boiling oil on other human beings. What a wonderful fellow. What are we doing? It's just there for the taking. But apparently, because he's playing English, it is an unwritten rule that you must trebuchet. He legit is, like, I am 99% sure at this stage that he is AFK. I don't think anyone would take my bet at this stage. Because it seems so obvious that they're AFK. It seems so obvious to everyone in the world but Hotstyler. Because unfortunately for Hotstyler, everyone else who is invested into this game has God vision. But Hotstyler does not. Hotstyler is an honorable gentleman. I'm of half a mind. So here's the thing. Usually, in this situation, you're like, I think we just move on to the next game. But the other part of me is like, what if J-Deep comes back and wins this? What if J-Deep has gone and taken the biggest dump ever in the history of Age of Empires 4 players, only to come back to this game 2 hours later and take an even bigger dump on Hotstyler? Think about it this way, folks. Hotstyler is unable to win the game when J-Deep only has 152 population. If J-Deep uses 200 population, he'll be OP. Never thought about it that way. I can't with these crows, man. The crows are truly the best part about this. I feel like if at any stage you so frequently can hear crows in the background of an AoE 4 game, and that is all you can hear, it should be a wake-up call to get up from the keyboard and go and touch some grass. The Treb's hesitation has finally stopped. This is, however, one trebuchet with an attack speed of every 12.5 seconds, so we'll be here a while. You know who's also going to be here a while? JD. You know, I think JD is probably writing an article right now about how Spears have no place winning against French Knights the way they did earlier in this game. I would imagine right now, JD, he saw how big this map was, and he saw the fact that his opponent was still able to wall it. And JD has probably eating his dinner while writing out a Reddit thread about how absurd Prairie is. It's a terrible map. It should be removed. I don't understand how French are meant to win on this map. Before getting about 50 replies that say French are OP on this map because it's so unwallable. JD is now responding to those comments, confused, simply unable to fathom how you could wall the entire map. You could not wall the entire map before French Knights arrive. He explains his thought process of keeping 7 or 8 Knights in your base and waiting for the English longbows to attack for 20 minutes. Of setting up trade and countering the English trade of 27 gold, forcing them to become a 1 gold boy. This is all laid out. He continues his argument. JD wants an answer to his questions. He starts to scroll through YouTube. He cycles deep into the YouTube sphere. He discovers Beastie Cutie's guides, but Beastie Cutie's guides, his build orders not go 55 minutes into a game. Although Beastie may always go 55 minutes into a game, he doesn't want to give away his top secret strats. So this info is impossible for JD to find. And as he realizes this, he returns to the game of Age of Empires 4. Because there is nothing he can learn but learn himself. And before we get too excited, I would like to warn everyone, there is a strong possibility that JD owns a cat and it just accidentally hit the mouse. Wait, we have signs of life. He's building more siege. We've got more siege coming. It turns out he may have found some late game BCQE games in CGQ. I'm sorry, Alex. Mangoes and Corverins. Hot Styler trying for the full keep. It's going to be counted. But is this army big enough to defend with? Nice charge through. Mangoes get a first volley out, but that's going to be absolutely it. A wraparound onto the hand cannoneers. And flesh out the lines, and JD might find himself a bit too deep in English meat here. The Knights may be thrown away. Those Rangers on the backside. The men-at-arms follow through. I can't help but feel JD is losing this fight. The extra round of cannons aren't even helping out here. Hand cannoneers now being targeted. Volley has been activated. Now the siege is going to take a while to kill. But overall, a good fight for Hot Styler. Because remember, Hot Styler has a lot more eco than JD has to replace this. Unfortunately, for everyone watching from home, they both have to rebuild that army first. Out of this. And this. So JD will replace the hand cannoneers. He's not replacing the Knights, though. Hot Styler, on the other hand, is looking to replace those Knights. It's going to take a while, folks. We're not gonna get to go kiss our wives and say hello to our family. That part of our life is over. We are deep now. JD. Now, if JD could just find his way north after this opening he made via the Rams, he could try for a Sacred Site victory. Considering that it took Hotstyler about almost 10 minutes to get through a keep on the south side, it isn't impossible to imagine a world in which Purple wins by Sacred Sites. And the reason why I'm so fixated on Sacred Sites is because these guys are so allergic to going into each other's bases, it seems more likely that I'm going to get to touch a boob in the next hour. Which, likelihood of that, by the way, is pretty much 0, as thankfully in the last few years I've lost enough weight that I don't have boobs anymore. And secondly, in fairness, I now have boobs. Secondly, this game is probably going to go for another hour. Especially considering most of his army is Culverins. Hey man, those Culverins, they do actually take out wolves fairly fast. By fairly fast, I actually mean it's going to... Are we going to do the math game again? All right, 85 plus 48. Oof. So 138. Wait. 133. Numbers. 133. So 83 damage is going through per shot. So it's going to take you roughly 125 shots, something like that, to get through a wall. Divide that by 5. Wait, no, oh, we got more here. Divide that by 8. I can't be asked. This is too much maths, guys. But he can get it through a wall in reasonable time. The better question is, will he? Because so far, the only person who's really trying to come to their opponent is Hotstyler. Hotstyler, who lacks the siege to break a wall. The only thing he's able to break is me. JD is actually looking a lot better now. Look at the knights. Oh, good lord, he's building the army. So much siege. Some would say it is more siege than you require. To them, I say this. Do you still have pop space? Oh, dear. There have been no additional developments in this, have there? I mean, well, Hotstyler is almost out of wood. That's a pretty significant development. Most of it's on the front side now, right? So yeah, all the safe wood is... Oh, no, he's got a little bit left here. J-Deep, on the other hand, where has he been getting wood? South corner, maybe? Yes, southern corner. So he's fine for quite a long time. I like how I'm focusing on where they're going with their resources as if it actually matters. But it does. Look at Hotstyler's gold. Look at what he just queued up. Hotstyler loses this army, J-Deep actually wins the game. Y'all didn't see it coming. Nobody believed it was possible. Even J-Deep needed to consult a few guides online to find the way. But he may have done it. With 7 cannons and 8 culverins, this lad looks unstoppable. But it's going to take time. Interestingly enough, he's also adding Trebs in. This is getting a bit overkill. Wait, is that additional cannons? Oh my god, JD, he listened. We said, you're not truly enough siege if you haven't reached pop cap. So he's queued additional culverins. We're going up to 11 culverins. 7 royal cannons. 40 plus royal knights. Meanwhile, Hotstyler is not there yet. He might never be there. He might be banished to the Shadow Realm. I'm pretty sure 42 knights is enough to kill everything before you even lose them here. With the culverins just sniping down units as well. Yeah, this could be very ugly. All it requires is that J-Deep does not go to answer the door for pizza again. What are they... Is he buying wood? Or was I looking at the wrong player? Someone was buying like crazy. Was he buying 10 wood? Oh no, honey, no.
Une œuvre bien à sauver.
And I think he just used the guild hall as well, so that was stockpiling pretty big. But marketplace. Someone was buying. I heard the damn noises. It's food. Presumably, JD bought food. Because that should be the one thing I'd expect him to have, like, maybe. Compared to gold, considering his incomes. It could have been Hot Styler buying wood was the other... Yeah, it's probably Hot Styler buying wood. God damn it, I am stubbornly committed to this one. I think we're going to look at a gold game next, guys. I really think we... If we wanted to, like, maybe we could up the skill level by, like, a notch or two if we watched a core game. I don't know, but like, this is pain. This is just so... Their hesitation, man. But they are both just outside of pop cap. They have to go now. Hot Styler is about to hit it. I think he's going to make the move. If he loses the fight badly, J-Deep will push. Where are we going? Oh my god, no! He got distracted! Hot Styler is like, it's like a cat who just saw a red dot. He sends the whole army up north. He peels off the knights in the end, so just the cavalry. How dare you touch my irrelevant mining camp, you swine! Now, this is usually the point where the other player would try to attack. Not J-Deep. Look at the intensity of this man. Not a flinch. You could punch him in the groin and he wouldn't even recoil. You could tell him his pizza is going to be 20 minutes later. He would not even blink. You could shoot him in the face and it wouldn't make a difference because actually he's probably already dead considering he doesn't flinch or move or anything. J-Deep. An unstoppable man. Fraser Knights are quite pretty in purple, yeah. Oh, well, we weren't meant to look. They don't want to be objectified. They're moving this time. They have waited long enough that the Hot Styler cavalry line is going to get back into formation. I like to call these players Kim Jong 2 types because they love to parade a huge army but never use it. These are the guys that, like, they have a really nice new shiny car, but it never leaves the front porch, right? It always stays in the driveway. Cannot get a scrape on it. Nothing is allowed. And it's finally happening. Scratch that car up. Make Papa angry. Knights put in wave after wave. Hot Styler. Robotiquins. Could this be the MVP? Wait, where are they going? Where are they going? Attack, you fools! No, Hot Styler, no! They're finally unloading. But now it's range on range, and it's mass siege versus ranged. Hot Styler is gonna lose everything. J-Deep, however, not only has a few knights still alive, but has a quadrillion cannons behind it. It's a 10-gun salute. Make it a 20. J-Deep just setting off like it's the 4th of July here. But oh, wait a second, my pizza's arrived. Just gonna go ahead and go get that. Be back soon, winky face. Jay, why? Jay. Not sure who won this battle. We didn't. That's the only clear answer I have for you. We did not win this battle. I can't even, dude. Hot Styler is now going to get to rebuild because he has 2.5 gig gold in reserve, 37,000 food, and J-Deep is doing nothing to... Oh, wait, no, there we go. Punishment. Kill his eco lead. That should kill him in about 3 hours. Where do they get the time to play these games? I imagine that, like, there's a high probability... No, I don't want to say it. It'd be mean. They probably ain't got nothing else to do with that day, guys. That's all I'm going to say. They may not have the mental acuity to hold down a job. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Stylo and JD. There are other possibilities. Maybe they long for human contact. This is social interaction. There could be a wonderful conversation going on that we simply can't see because Relic won't give us access to the chat box. And we're sure they're not children, folks, because as we know, all children play Fortnite. That's just a given. No one... Children don't play RTS, is what you're on about. J-Deep has opened the way. And guys, he's prepping for the cheesy finish. Mass Horseman. It is only going to take him another 10 minutes to get those Horsemen together via his free stables. But we will get there. Choke point with Siege. It's a good fight for JD, actually. Hotstarter has switched into Springles, however. And right now, J-Deep's Culverins are not targeting those Springles. Instead, his hand cannon is. And yet still, J-Deep has so much Siege, it doesn't even matter. I think we have a victor. I boldly say that, knowing how easily I could be wrong. But similarly, to these fellows willing to expose themselves on the stream, I'm willing to expose myself and be incorrect. J-Deep has won the game. And he will do it via sacred sites. We will be here for another 10 minutes, in which time the pizza may arrive again. Not style. May get another chance. Oh, dear goodness me. Wait, so he just wanted to take the gold away. Wow, J-Deep is such a strategic player. He knows how poor Hotstarler is. But J-Deep, his pockets run truly deep. 20,000 gold in reserve because he traded. Now, Hotstarler did trade as well. God, I can't keep looking at this. The 1 gold trader could not win. It just was not good enough. J-Deep now feeling the confidence surging will look to claim his crown. He be the king of Prairie. We are true witnesses to it. His glory. J-Deep, who went AFK for almost 10 minutes, could have been AFK for 20 more and still have won. We wish that we had the skills that J-Deep has. To eat a pizza, empty your bowels, and win an AoE 4 game all at the same time.